3, 2, 1. Packers are in the playoffs, baby. They are playoff bound. Finally, we make the postseason. I'm very happy about that. I am so stoked, baby. I am so stoked. Now, let's head to some intro, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head to the intro.
This is Tom Grossi, and you're watching the PackReacts podcast.
Let's go.
Perfect timing on that theme there for the YouTube and the Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everybody. Welcome to PackReacts. I'm your host, Jeremy Hadler, along with our other host, Mike Arvonio. And tonight we'll be discussing the Packers-Bears game from this past week, from the Packers clinching into the playoffs finally in Jordan Love's first year starting. Thank goodness. I'm happy to see that. And we'll be also looking ahead to the Dallas Cowboys game of Packers this coming week. But before we start, I'd like to do some fun with Mike here, to give him a surprise. Here we go. I will be doing two things for Mike today. Let us start off with two quick segments. History. We're going to do some history and do one quick trivia question for Mike.
No, I wasn't aware of this. It's getting me a surprise.
Exactly, folks.
You're lucky I like trivia. Otherwise, I'd be like freaking out right now.
All right. So the history, I'd like to let you know, everybody, of Packer history here. The Green Bay Packers are currently 5-0 at AT&T Stadium since it has been open since 2009. So that's the history, folks. Now, are you ready for your trivia question, Mike?
Yeah, although you got a little bit of an echo there. I like this, though. We should start the episode like this moving forward.
Okay. We will do that, folks. We will do that.
Look at this.
So that was
new segment live on air. We just made the decision.
Exactly. So that was the history part. Now, the trivia question for ladies and gentlemen, and you can type this in the comments to be along with Mike, or for Twitter, I have no idea how it works. You can maybe comment or just say something. Maybe, I don't know. But trivia question, ladies and gentlemen. On this day, the Packers defeated this quarterback in the playoffs against Washington, won 35-18 to advance in the divisional rounds.
So first of all, you're definitely echoing. We have to figure that out.
Could you at least hear the question, though?
Kind of, but I was kind of distracted by the echo.
All right. Let me repeat, even though there might be echoing in here, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you try muting one of your...
Let me try. How about now?
No, still good.
No.
Still there. Try again. Say something.
How about now?
You're going through your headphones, though, right?
Yeah, I'm going through my headphones. Here, let me
That's
try without the headphones. How about now?
Yeah, you're much better now.
All right. We'll do without the headphones for this part here, folks. All right, trivia.
All right.
Back to it. On this day, the Packers defeated this quarterback in the playoffs against Washington 35-18 to advance in the divisional rounds.
And the question, who's the quarterback?
Yes.
In 2018, you said?
No, I said on this day, the Packers defeated this quarterback in the playoffs against Washington. They won it 35-18 to advance in the divisional rounds.
But what year? You said on this day. On this day in what year?
This would be the 2015.
Oh, 2015 season?
That's giving you a little hint there, too.
Well, I mean, I kind of need that, right?
It's playoff history. Packers playoff history, if you know it very well.
Yeah, right. This was after the run the table season, right?
Comment in the chat too, folks, if you want to play along.
Is it Kirk Cousins?
Is that your final guess?
Yes.
You are correct, sir. Kirk
All
Cousins.
right, good. I didn't second guess myself. Look at that. All right.
Kirk Cousins. This occurred before the run the table, ladies and gentlemen. This was a year prior to it.
I was close, though.
You were close. This was where Jordy Nelson caught the touchdown and then it dropped and then he still caught a touchdown. James Hoodie Jones, where he was wearing the hoodie, that was pretty much his game. Eddie Lacy with a big run where he was gaining lots of weight and had that big one, huge run, folks.
I'm pretty proud of myself. Got it right. I got the run the table thing wrong, but I was in the same ballpark. So
Yes,
okay,
same ballpark.
I'll take that.
Ballpark.
I'll take that.
All right. Now, let's begin with this Packers-Bears. We won, folks. The Green Bay Packers are officially in the playoffs, folks. They are officially in the playoffs. And yes, we do have some quick breaking news here. Apologies to Twitter here, but we have to announce this real quick. The breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bears still suck. They still suck. Packers own them. That is the breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. As the Green Bay Packers defeated the Chicago Bears 17-9, advanced to the playoffs in a win-matter game here. They win, they get in the postseason, and boom, they got it in. Let's go. Gotta give props.
Jordan Love received his deed of the Chicago Bears. You know, it was filed last game at the beginning of the season. We booked in the season. We filed for ownership of the Chicago Bears game 1, right? And now we received the deed in game 17. Yes. What a way to win the season! End the season. Start beating the Bears and beating the Bears with a playoff victory. I mean, you couldn't have asked for more from the Packers in the season. I know we've given them shit on this program up and down, especially earlier on in the season. But in year 1 of Jordan Love to make the playoffs, now I know they got some help along the way. They were 9-8, right? So not a great record, but to show the progression in the beginning of the season, what we said, Jeremy, on this show was we want to see this team get better week in and week out, right? Where we want to see steady progression. Where probably best case scenario is the Packers get a good draft pick, but we see progression from the young players. We didn't get a good draft pick, right? But we did make the playoffs. Let's say if you get a shitty draft pick, I want to make the playoffs. We're in, right? So we can win, right? Once you're in, you can win. Do I think they beat the Cowboys? I probably wouldn't bet on it, but I do think they have a shot. Like you said, we're 5-0 at AT&T Stadium. Granted, one of those is not against the Cowboys; it's against the Steelers in the Super Bowl, right? Yep. So we have success in that stadium. The Cowboys are a beatable team, I think. Now they got a good offensive line, they got a good receiver base. Dak is playing well. Their defense is good, especially their secondary. They got Micah Parsons, right? They're a good team. They're a good all-around team. But what do we know about Mike McCarthy? What do we know about Mike McCarthy? In the times where he needs to dial it up, where he needs to put a team away, chokes, right? He gets what do you call it? Conservative.
Yep.
The Cowboys have never won in the playoffs, like gone to the Super Bowl in a long time. If they beat the Packers, they're 2 games away from the Super Bowl. They have to go through the lowest seed next season, or the next lowest seed, right? But they can't play 49ers next week. So they, in theory, get to the championship game before playing the 49ers. So, hey, look, the Cowboys have a good shot this year if they beat the Packers. But, again, Cowboys are known to blow it in the playoffs. And what else is more dangerous than a young team no one expected to be here? We're playing with house money. We should not be here right now. We should not be here right now. You listen to the pundits. Week 1, preseason, right? Jordan Love it's a rebuilding year. We want to see progression. Listen to us. We're a pundit, right? That's what we said. Now, I didn't say that it's impossible. I said actually it's very likely we'll make the playoffs. Just looking at the strength of the NFC.
Exactly.
I said, it's possible we back into the playoffs, and that's what happened. We backed into the playoffs.
Exactly.
So this is not a surprise. What would be a surprise if you go on a run in the playoffs, right? If you could beat the Cowboys, beat the 49ers, right? And then beat whoever team comes in the championship game and make the Super Bowl. But hey, this has happened before. It's happened before. Aaron Rodgers in his second time as in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Year one was against the Cardinals, where
Yeah.
he lost in a shootout.
Right.
Right, with what should have been a face mask, it was a fumble in overtime, but should have been a face mask. Packers should have kept that ball. Who knows what happened then? Hey, we could win this game, right? The next year, Aaron Rodgers comes back after that heartbreaking loss in the wild card round, or I think it was wild card round.
Yep.
And they 6th seed beat the Eagles, beat the number 1 seed Falcons on the road. That place was rocking. That place was right. Remember, we were down like 7-0, if not 14-0, I forget. Right? Jamal Williams, right? We made plays, right? And then Chicago Bears in the NFC Championship. It's almost eerily similar, Jeremy.
Yes.
Right? We have an NFC East team. It's Jordan Love's first playoff thing. That was Aaron Rodgers' second, right? We have an NFC team week 1, right? And this is on the road, right? Obviously, everything's been on the road because we were 6th seed then, but that was the last seed at the time, right? So we're the last seed, right? We have a young quarterback that has limited playoff experience. In this situation, no playoff situation as a starter. You go on the road against an NFC East team, right? We know we're going to play the number 1 seed coming off a bye the next week. It was the Falcons, a red team, right? The Falcons, the last time we won a Super Bowl. Now we got the 49ers. And then, honestly, the easiest game in the situation with the Super Bowl run was the championship game. In this situation, the easiest game is going to be the championship game because who are your remaining teams? The Buccaneers, we could beat the Buccaneers. The Rams, we've already beat the Rams. We could beat them again, right? And the Eagles.
The Rams one. Well, the Rams one was without Stafford and Cup.
Okay, but we still could beat the Rams. We still could beat the Rams, Jeremy.
Okay.
Right?
Just point that out.
So it would be that's it, right? Because there's 7 teams, or am I missing a team? Bucks,
Eagles, Lions.
Lions.
Rams.
Sorry, that's the team I'm missing. The Lions. So it could be again the NFC North, right? It could be what do you call it? The Eagles, or it could be the what do you call it? The Buccaneers or the Rams. So those 4 options for the NFC Championship game. So your easiest game is going to be the NFC Championship game. So you can get by this gauntlet, the Cowboys on the road in a rocking what do you call it? AT&T Stadium where hey, look, the Cowboys have the best chance this year. Have they been a 2 seed recently? I don't think so. They have the best chance this year to make the Super Bowl than they ever have.
Last time I can remember off the top of my head that they were the 2 seed, if I'm correct. I believe that I don't know if they were the 1 seed or 2 seed, but that was when the last time we played them in the playoffs of the Jared Cook pass. I think they were the number 1 seed though, if I'm correct. Because I believe if the Cowboys would have won, they would have hosted it. But since we won, we had to go to Atlanta. I believe they were the number 2 seed, if I'm correct. It was either the Falcons or the Cowboys. Right. But that's the last time I can remember for that sake. But nevertheless, the Cowboys have shown their many years of playoff weaknesses, though. They've shown
exactly. So it lines up kind of similar, eerily similar.
Yes.
Not exact, but eerily similar. So is it possible? For sure. We're getting healthy at the right time, Jeremy. The injury report came out today. A.J. Dillon's the only person that wasn't practicing. Now, there are other people practicing in a limited fashion, but I think Christian Watson was about to play last week. They gave him the week off, but I think he's going to play this week. We got Jair back. He had a week off. So, hey, look, now he's a little bit more healthy. Don't forget, he had that injury. So that week off, everyone was worried about the suspension. Probably was good in hindsight, right? We got the win anyway, and he's got a week off. We got Luke Musgrave back. Luke Musgrave's playing. We lost Eric Stokes, but
I think that was kind of worth it. Not to be rude to him, but with the injury, he wasn't performing his potential that we all know he could be.
Right. So we're going to be very healthy, although it is a big injury report. I'll say that. Yeah. But Jaden Reed's full participant. We got only limited participants other than A.J. Dillon, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is going to play. And who's on our IR right now? We don't really have a big IR. Packers.
We have Rudy Ford. He was put on there last week, if I'm correct. That's the one that pops up to my head. There's also the
Tenuta.
Yep.
Samori Toure was put on injured reserve.
Yeah, he got hurt last week, if I'm correct. Or yeah, I think it was last week he got put on that too.
Wow, but we really have no one on injured reserve. We got Bakhtiari, obviously, that's the big one, right?
Yep.
Tyler Davis was in preseason, so that's that we knew. But since Bakhtiari, we had nobody on injured reserve. Now I know people came off like Musgrave, right?
Yeah.
But we haven't had one person go on injured reserve other than Eric Stokes. Now Samori Toure hasn't been really. He's been the forgotten man of receivers. So is that big loss? No. Rudy Ford, that's not great. But he really hasn't been playing that much either. So I mean, this team might be the healthiest team we've had going into playoffs in a long time. Now, granted, I said this is a big injury report. But I think all these guys are going to play. So as they're banged up and they can play, that's better than I'm not playing at all. So we basically have. Don't forget, we're the youngest team in football. So with that, as the Jets found out, they're more agile, right? They're less injury prone, and we're getting healthy at the right time. This team has nothing to lose. Sometimes when you have nothing to lose, and this is new to you, you can have beginner's luck. This team can have beginner's luck. Don't bet on it, but it's not out of the question.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. We can definitely make a run. Even though I'm not trying to make a delusional Cowboy fan out here, but with the healthiness we have here, we rarely have any IR people. The way this team has been trending lately, where the offense especially has been trending up. I mean, I get like 17 points. They could have definitely put more points on the board, but they still perform very well offensively. Defensively, it's changed the past couple weeks. Ever since I went to that Packers game, it has changed. The one big thing that has two big things that have really changed to me: the blitzing and man coverage. Those are the two big things, because they showed the statistic on CBS of what's more effective, the man coverage or the zone coverage. Man coverage was very high and shown that it's very good when you're playing man coverage with this defense. And the blitzing, and you're getting off of that of like, how many guys are you sending? Because we can go remember when we're playing the Giants, when you were at the game, Mike, they put 3 guys on when it was like 3rd down, or it was like very close to the game at like towards the end. They would just only send 3 guys from the line to attack the quarterback. Now they switch it up and have 4 defensive linemen going after the quarterback. That's the right approach there. And like having the CBs or safety come in right and late, that's what I've loved more, is the blitzing. Blitzing has definitely improved this team a lot.
Right. No, I mean, against the Bears, they were playing great on the blitz.
Yeah.
They were really impressive. Really impressive. We made some key 3rd down stops with the sack.
5 sacks.
Van Ness got a sack. 5 sacks. There you go. Van Ness got a sack. Kenny Clark was the one that came up the middle, right? That made a big play. Thinking back, Colby Wooden, you said Carl Brooks, right? That play on the screen, right? That guy got the screen. He hit his ankle, right?
Yep.
Great play. Absolutely great play. Saw that and just got the guy right down. He could have broke for another 10, 15 yards if he didn't make that tackle. Perfect. This defense has been on the up and up.
Yep.
Wyatt played well, right? This defense has been on the up and up. And I got to say, Joe Barry, another game. Credit to Joe Barry. They kept Fields in check.
Yep.
DJ Moore didn't go all over them. The running game, I wish they would have kept him in check a little bit more. But all in all, this was a good performance by the defense. Another great performance by the offense. You know who was quiet this game? Jaden Reed did not have a big game.
What are you talking about? He had like amazing catch.
The amazing catch that he probably stepped out of bounds on.
He had 2 great catches. He had the one on the 3rd down play where he goes up towards starts from your own zone from like the 20 on that 3rd down, gets up there for like a 25-yard gain of catch. Then the other one was the 55-yard one where he's almost looking like he's about to go out of bounds when the press asked Matt LaFleur about that after the game. Makes a huge rundown. Those are the 2 things.
You're right. Maybe I take that back. He had 112 receiving yards, actually. But a lot of that was on that one play, which was a big play. I mean, that was a big play. Don't get me wrong. But other than that, he only had 4 receptions. But, yeah, you're right. He did have a big day. 112 yards. I
also like to go back about that rushing, too. The Packers did an amazing job on the rushing. This was Khalil Herbert's carries. 12 carries for 28 yards. His longest run was 9 yards. Justin Fields had 8 carries for 27 yards. Now, we knew Fields would do that, and that was going to be one of the big things. There were times that were going to absolutely have to happen. His longest run was 7 yards. Rashawn Johnson, 5 carries for 20 rushing yards. His longest was 8 yards. So in a total of all that, Mike, they did 25 carries for 75 rushing yards. That is pretty good.
That's pretty good. All right, so I guess I was wrong there too.
And you can go look at Justin Fields, 11 for 16, 148 passing yards. Sacked 5 times too.
And I take it back and read. That was actually his best game of the season. It was his first game over 100 yards. It was just sporadic. He usually gets more catches than that, right?
Okay. Yes.
So that's where I was coming from.
Okay.
He didn't have a ton of catches. He had 4, but and he had no touchdowns. That's the other thing. We're so used to Jaden Reed touchdowns. That was the thing. He didn't get any touchdowns. So that's all I'm saying. But you're right. From a yardage standpoint, he had a big yardage day, but most of it came on that one reception.
Yes.
59 yards. So 59 of the 112 was that 1 yard. So outside of that one reception, he had a pretty quiet day. But obviously that was a big play. So yeah. But hey, can we shout out my guy Jordan Love over here for a second? I pulled up his stats, right? I gotta get his jersey. I took the conservative route this year. Probably made a mistake.
I did it right after we beat the Bears week 1.
I mean, his stats at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Let's just compare it to Rodgers, right? Who else do we have to compare him to, right? Better than last year's stats. He's got 4,159 yards receiving or passing this year, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers had 3,700 last year. Even in Rodgers' MVP seasons, he only had 2020, 2021. He had 2020, he had 4,299, and 2021, he had 4,115. So Love actually has more than Rodgers had in his second MVP season. This year, not in 2020. Touchdown percentage 48-37. Jordan Love only has 32. So that's why Rodgers got the MVP those years is his touchdowns. I mean, those are big numbers, especially the 48 number. That's way more than any of his rest of his career, although he had 45 at one point. So Love is not the same with the touchdown numbers. Let's just look at QB rating. He only had 96.1 average. Let's see what Rodgers had. QB rating. Last year, 91.1. But then in his MVP season, 121 and 111. So that QBR is a big difference there too. But yardage standpoint, I mean, Love had a big year with Lars for his first year as a starter. I mean, he by far earned his position on the team next year as a starter. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. But you could put another year back to back like this, show a lot of progression. I mean, this is where we could say we got a guy that could be a year upon year stalwart at quarterback position for the Packers. So, look, this is the thought process when you do make that pick back in 2020 is you get a raw quarterback with a lot of talent. All the physical tools are there. Let him learn and not be thrown into the fire in the beginning. And in the long run, it'll pay off. So is it possible? It's looking that way that it was the right move. Is it possible it changes up at some point? Yeah, sure. I mean, nothing's set in stone at this point. But you couldn't ask for any more from Jordan Love this season. Could you ask more from the defense? Yes. Could you ask more from the young receivers? I don't think so. I think the young receivers really played well. Outside of Christian Watson, I think you'd ask more from him because of the injury situation. But you really could not ask for anything better. And hey, I forgot about this. We're getting healthy at the right time. Who else is like looking really good right now that we've been missing the whole season?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Thank you. Aaron Jones has looked really good these past 2 weeks. And at this point, feed him, right? What are we saving him for at this point? This is the playoffs. Aaron Jones might be the best player on the field on either offense. Other than, I mean, I know you have CeeDee Lamb right on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got
Tony Pollard. You have
right?
Gallup, which Gallup doesn't play that much, but he gets some tighties. And then there's Brandon Cooks. There's Ferguson.
Other than CeeDee Lamb, I think that Aaron Jones is the best offensive player on the field. Aaron Jones needs to be your focal point. He needs to be. and then run the offense through Aaron Jones, and now give these receivers, Jordan Love, aspects to make down the field and carve them up if they're worrying about Aaron Jones. But I want to see Aaron Jones get the ball time again. There's nothing to save him for. There's nothing to save him for. Win or go home. This is the playoffs. We're not playing the Bears this week because last game was a playoff game too, and the game before that. So we basically won 2 playoff games in a row. We're not playing the Vikings. We're not playing the Bears. We're playing the Cowboys. This is a real team in their house. We need our best guns full blazing. Aaron Jones, I want to see get the ball over and over again because that guy is he's a difference maker when he's there and he's healthy. And he's definitely looks like he's healthy now, and he looks like he's being a difference maker. We need him to be. So I want to see him over and over again. Get the ball. I want to see Jaden Reed. I want to see Christian Watson back. And Christian Watson, if he's back, I want him to be Christian Watson. If all these things happen, right, we play good on defense like we've been playing recently, this team's got a shot. Now, the one thing I think is still going to kill us, although they've been playing really good recently, the offensive line. I mean, Micah Parsons you're going against. You're going against Randy Gregory's on the Cowboys, right?
No, he's on the 49ers. There's DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, personally for me, I think the offensive line has done a great job this past couple of weeks. I mean, they only allowed 1 sack from Jordan Love. They held in, like the Vikings game, they allowed no sacks. Danielle Hunter did nothing in that game, who was the best pass rusher for the Vikings. Montez Sweat, everyone kept talking so much like he was going to be doing great, have a great game against the Packers. Where was he? He did nothing. Now, if you look at this offensive line the past couple weeks, it has done a great job. Now, granted, we've had the struggles through injuries, guys switching in and out, where we switched guys in the middle game, which I will still complain about that today. But you look at this offensive line, it's looked pretty good. It's just really injuries. I think that's stopping them sometimes. But yes, this is going to definitely be a huge trench battle between this Dallas Cowboys defensive line, Micah Parsons, and this Packers offensive line. Now, the past 3 games, Aaron Jones has had the 3 games with over 100 yards rushing. That's been the big thing. But I did want to go back to Jordan Love real quick, folks. Jordan Love won NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Not only did he win that, he won the MVP award this week, folks. He was
MVP?
Nickelodeon Valuable Player.
Were we on Nickelodeon?
He got voted as a Nickelodeon Valuable Player, folks.
But we weren't on Nickelodeon.
No, we were not, but we were voted that apparently.
They have a valuable player even if it's not on their thing?
Yeah. He was voted that for the week. Which the Packers posted that on social media just about 2 hours ago, folks. So that happened. But I will like to say, and I would like to bring back what Mike said a couple weeks ago about should Jordan Love get the contract? I think he should get the contract. I think it should be $45 million per year. That is where I'm at, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about numbers. I'm not gonna give out numbers.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think he breaks the bank at this moment. I think you still need to see more from him. But I wouldn't give him a contract this off season. We don't need to. Let's try to see if you could do it again. I forget if you need. I don't think you need to. I think we got another year. I think that was the whole point of doing this contract.
Yeah.
So I'd wait. But yeah, I mean, really impressive. Really impressive. We got the 4:30 game, so we're gonna see everything that happens until our game on Sunday. And this is your time to make your money. If the only way I'd give him a long-term contract, we may go on a run. Now, not necessarily win the Super Bowl, but get to the championship game, right? If you get to the championship game or get to the Super Bowl and not win, or obviously win. If you win, you got to give him a contract. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl, right? If you get to the Super Bowl, I still think maybe you probably do. If you get to the championship game, I probably wouldn't, but maybe you would. Anything less than that, no. Wait the year. But hey, if he can show that he has what it takes in the playoffs, this is a different vibes. I mean, it's the playoffs. A young player could get jitters right now and not play up to his potential because it's the playoffs. So it's possible that he plays up to the playoffs or plays down. We're going to see what happens. But this is big. This is big for Jordan. Again, this season already speaks for itself. I think he's earned his job next year and probably a future year. But
Mhm.
if you can go on a run here, right? Beat the Cowboys, beat the 49ers, beat whoever team you're playing next, in theory, right? At least win a game, right? If not, win two. If not, 3. It's just going to speak by. It's just icing on the cake here, and um, we have a chance. That's all we could ask for. Is we have a chance.
Yeah, we definitely do have a chance. Just want to get your thoughts real quick back on the Packers Bears game. Two things that stuck out to me and that really annoy me, or maybe a little three things, but I wouldn't consider the third one really a big thing. First one, Anders Carlson misses that field goal. That could have hurt the Packers real badly. Second, going like right towards the end of half. That was terrible of what I saw there of like terrible time management. Trying to get like 3 more yards when and before that Jordan Love almost threw an interception. I don't know, like that was just terrible from what I saw from there.
Yeah, I mean Anders Carlson, we know we're gonna get with him.
Yeah,
He has been better than I thought he was gonna be. Honestly, after seeing him in preseason,
preseason.
but I don't think he's your long term solution. That could have been a big loss. That 3 points that could have lost us the game. Going to halftime, don't forget we were only up 1.
Yeah.
That was a big drive coming out of half to get 6, right? But yeah, obviously missing that field goal could have had really big repercussions. Can't happen. It can't happen in the playoffs. We need those points. Every point matters. And we need to limit mistakes. Mistakes are what's going to kill this team.
Yep.
Turnovers. We haven't had many turnovers recently, but young team could fumble. I mean, look at that 49ers game when we were supposed to go to the championship game. The fumble by Mercedes Lewis, killer. I mean, that fumble changed the whole momentum of the game. Packers were playing really well until they fumbled that ball, and it just changed the whole momentum. And it's unfortunate because that was a home game, number 1 seed. We had the chance to go to the NFC Championship game. If they lost, we would have been at the NFC. I would have said we could have sat here. Hey, we've gone to a game together, right? I went to a playoff game in Lambeau, right? Likely, who was ended up going to the Super Bowl this year? The 49ers went, right?
Yeah.
Or did they lose to the Eagles?
Oh no, they lost to the Rams. It was the Rams Bengals that year.
Sorry. Yeah, they lost to the Rams. Right. So the Rams, we probably could have beat the Rams, right? We probably have another Super Bowl if they don't make that fumble. That one fumble changed everything. I mean, they were looking great. I actually remember watching that game, and I jinxed it probably. I go, hey, this team looks like the best I've seen them in a long time. I said they're playing amazing. It's in the what do you call it? Commercial. Commercial comes back. Mercedes Lewis fumble. Oh my god! Right, and then everything just they were just stagnant after that. They couldn't do anything. But turnovers, gotta limit turnovers. Can't make mistakes like missing field goals. That's inexcusable. The Cowboys are going to beat you and make mistakes. 49ers definitely going to beat you and make mistakes. The Packers got to play basically flawless. They're flawless to win. 49ers are a better team. The Cowboys are a better team. There's no question that the Packers are the worst team here. Doesn't mean they can't win, but if they start to make the mistakes, it's over. There's no way, I don't think, that the Packers can make a bunch of mistakes, somehow hope the other team makes a bunch of mistakes, and kind of just pack in to get a win. They need to play a 4-quarter game, no mistakes. What do you call it? Take away field goals and make it touchdowns. Get 6 on drives. No bend or no break defense, right? I need to get pressure on the quarterback, man coverage, or zone. If you play zone, you better be passing off people correctly. There's no room for error in either of these games against the Cowboys and in the 49ers if we beat the Cowboys. Likely no room for error in the NFC Championship game, and likely no room for error in the Super Bowl. So the Packers are not the better team in probably any of these 4 games if they were to go on a run. So they're going to be the underdog in every game. They got to play well. Good news again, they're getting healthy. Other teams, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look at every team kind of where they're at health-wise. But the Packers are healthy. Packers are also young, which is good or bad. But it's good in terms of the fact that they have stamina. You know, these guys haven't been in the league for 15 years getting beat up every game, right? So it could be good that they're young. But they don't have the experience. So
the only thing I saw from the Cowboys side was that Stephon Gilmore did not practice today. He's dealing with a shoulder brace like Jair Alexander is doing. The other two I saw was Tyler Smith, the offensive lineman, who's looked very good, and I think the other one was Zach Martin. Both are projected to do play Sunday, is what I've been hearing. Stephon Gilmore, he's looking like he's going to trend to play on Sunday, but we still have to wait and see. But my question goes that's going to worry me is a bit of like, what are we doing on CeeDee Lamb here? Because CeeDee Lamb, are we going to have a Jair coverage the whole time? Are we going to mix it up with him or with Valentine, whichever one of them? That's going to be a big thing. Turnovers, as you mentioned before. The Cowboys live on turnovers. That's how they win the majority of their games. That's how they've won. The defense especially. That secondary, full of ball hawks. You've seen it before. They will give up so many yards. They try to make that hero play every time. That's something you got to take advantage of. The run defense for the Cowboys is not fantastic. It has looked bad. It has very looked bad this past couple weeks. So that's another thing the Packers got to take advantage of. Defensively, back to us for Packers. You got to force Dak Prescott to turn over the ball because in the playoffs, Dak Prescott has turned over the ball so many times, and that has been the thing with Dak Prescott. He turns over the ball, fumbles it. That's been the crucial thing if we've looked at Dak Prescott the past couple of years in the playoffs. That has been the big thing, and the Packers have shown to get on him about that. They're also very good on sacking. One thing that does worry me, though, that's not even the defense or offense for both sides, is special teams. Cowboys have the elite weapon of the kicker, Brandon Aubrey. Brandon Aubrey has made pretty much every single field goal. Now, last week he did miss 2 field goals, but he's been perfection from as far as you want to go. He hits 50 yards like they're nothing. He can maybe go a 60 yard. He can make those field goals. That is something that's going to worry me. If it's going to come down to the wire, that is something that's going to worry me a bit. If it's going to come down to Brandon Aubrey's most likely going to win it for the Cowboys. Carlson, that worries me a bit. Now, we've seen he can make that. But if it's between Carlson and Aubrey to decide the game, I'm leaning towards Aubrey. He's going to win the game.
Has he missed a kick yet?
He has missed a kick. He missed 2 field goals last week is what I saw in the statistics, and he's missed, I believe, maybe 1 extra point, if I'm correct. He's missed like at least 3 from what I saw. But the guy's pretty. The guy's pretty good.
Again, by the way,
stat muse.
So you're echoing, by the way. Yeah. So it's 36 for 38. In the last 5 games, he's got his 2 misses.
Yeah.
His average the last 5 games was what? No way. Average was 60 yards. No shot.
Yeah. He hits deep ones.
But it says his average was 60 yards. No way.
Oh, I don't know about that. He nails field goals like
right.
He nails field goals like they're nothing, though.
Yeah, but he missed 2 from 30 to 39, which was interesting.
Yeah.
He made everything from 40 and up.
Yeah.
14 kicks, 40 and up. He made every single one. He missed 2 from 30 to 39. Made everything from 20 to 29. So now let's see. Compared that to
Carlson.
Yep.
Like the interesting thing though of this guy is he never played college football ever. He played soccer his entire life. And then he tried out in, I believe, either the XFL or the Canadian League for like 1 year to try it out. Made the team and all. And then he got in the NFL.
Right. No, I mean, he's real impressive. Andrew Scott is 27 for 33, so he's got 3 more missed kicks. 3 for 5 from 50 plus, 4 for 8. 4 for 8. Wait, 2. Yeah, so 3 more. He's been Carlson's perfect from 0 to 39. His misses are 40 plus. Yeah. Although he's missed extra points, right? So
yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a killer. That's a killer. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Andrews Carlson versus Aubrey, that's definitely in the Cowboys' favor.
Yeah.
Quarterback, that's to the eye of a beholder, but probably in the Cowboys' favor, right? Receivers, probably in the Cowboys' favor. Running back, probably the Cowboys' favor.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that one. I would say Aaron Jones for that because
I agree.
Because Tony Pollard has not really done much with the Cowboys. If you really look at his statistics, like they don't score rushing TDs. They throw every time when they're in the red zone. Yeah. They never run. That's the interesting thing I've noticed. They always throw right in the end zone. They never run with Tony Pollard. For some odd reason, they will run with him in the end zone. They will run with him when they're like at midfield or at their own territory just to try and get field goal range.
Right. But yeah, so I'm excited. I might go to the Packers bar in the city for the game. I got to see. But it's exciting.
Yes.
Exciting stuff.
It is definitely exciting. Just got to see. I mean, as Mike said earlier, we're playing with house money. We got nothing to lose out here. But this team has been resilient and has overcome adversity through times when none of us thought that they were going to make the playoffs when we were 2-5 back in October, which was the roughest month of the Packers season there, folks, where you lose to the Broncos, the Steelers, the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Just brutal for that time frame with that 4-game losing streak. No one thought that we were going to make the postseason. And here we are today. We are not supposed to be here, but we made it in.
Although, if you think about this, Jeremy, right? First of all, I got to give props again to John and myself, right? If the Packers don't win that Saints game, we're not here sitting here at all, because beating the Saints gave us the tiebreaker, right? And obviously we needed to win, right? So we lose that game, we're out. But the tiebreaker was the most integral win of the season, was that Saints game. And we almost lost that game, but that crowd, I really think, got that team back into it. The crowd was rocking towards the end. And, obviously I tried to do my part there. So it didn't work against the Giants. We almost worked in the end. But obviously we were the home team there. But I think I had a part in where we're at. Not to toot my own horn, but.
So what you're telling me is that the wave at the Packers games is why the Packers got in the playoffs. The wave is how the Packers win games. So if you do the wave more often,
not the wave. I did not. It's not a part of it. All right, so let's think about games with Packers probably could have / should have won, right?
All right,
Falcons, we lost by 1, right? Should have won that game. Raiders
should have won that.
We didn't lose by 1, but we should have won that game.
The horse collar. That was a horse collar thing that cost it because Watson would have had it.
We should have won both those games. If you win just those 2 games, right? Packers right now are 10 and 6. No, 11 and 6. Sorry, 11 and 6. And they're above the Rams, right? They'd be tied for the Eagles, but they would not get the first place. So we'd still be a wild card team. So I'm not sure who would have the tiebreaker with the Eagles or the Packers. So either just might have been 1 spot up, which we almost got anyway, so it really didn't matter, or we would have got 2 steps up, which would have been nice. It would have been nice to get the 5th seed. But let's think about, is there any other game the Packers should have won? The Broncos game probably should have won that, but we weren't that close, right? If I remember.
No, we were not that. It was like last second, and we kind of got back in the game. It was because of, remember when Love threw that touchdown in the end zone where it hit off one of our guys, and then it popped right into, I believe it was Romeo Dobbs who caught the ball. That's what made it closer. But we were not that game. We should have not won that game, though.
Right. Well, we could have beat the Giants, right? That was a game we should have won.
We should have. I say we should have won the Steelers game, in my opinion.
And the Steelers game. So that's 4 games right there, Jeremy, that we could have won. That we probably should have won. They were 1-score games, and the Broncos game was only 1 score too. But I know you say we came back, right?
Yeah.
So this team very well could have been. I mean, in an alternate universe, 13-4 in theory.
I still blame the refs in the Steelers game because they cost us a touchdown when we recover the ball. When you can clearly see on the replay, he throws it behind, not forward, and Packers recovered it. Rashawn Gary did, ran it back in the end zone. That would have been a touchdown, and boom, Packers would have won that game. But the refs cost us that game, in my opinion.
In theory, the Packers could be 13-4. The best number 1 team in the league, the Ravens, 13-4. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, we are getting healthy. The Packers lost some close game. We could be better than what we are. We really could be. We could be. Now, am I saying we're a great team? I don't think so. But we had an easy schedule. That's the other thing. Don't forget. Imagine if some of those games went our way. We really could have been in the driver's seat right now. That's the thing, is like, and that's where I'm a little bit hesitant now, right? Like, we had an easy schedule, right? And we just backed into the playoffs. If we were really good, we should have been blowing through everybody. We should have been blowing doors. So we just backed in. So it goes to show you that we're not great, right? Because I think 2 years ago, team would have blown doors through this schedule.
Well, if you look at it from our Super Bowl season, Mike, We lost so many close games. If you want to compare it to in the 2010-2011 season, we lost so many games in overtime, or when it was like one-score games. We lost so many of that. The Dolphins, Washington, other games I can't even remember, but those were the two that stick out to me. They were so many times that they're close, and that's why the Packers got the low seed for the injuries. Because this team right now, I mean, I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl, but this team reminds me a lot of the Super Bowl champion.
It does, and they got healthy at the right time too. If you don't remember, I mean, Rodgers was hurt in the
Lions
Patriots game, right?
Yeah, he got
hurt in the Lions, but then he was out for the Patriots game.
Yes, because we had Matt Flynn in there.
Yeah, so we got healthy at the right time. James Starks had a big time. Where's Emmanuel Wilson? Is he?
He's still on the team. He was inactive last I checked, if I'm correct, but I think he's still on the IR though. Excuse me. I don't think he's on the IR. I think he got pulled off.
He's active. He's playing. He can play.
He was activated. He was activated, I believe.
Yeah, he's definitely activated. So, if AJ Dillon doesn't play, who knows? Maybe Emmanuel Wilson steps up for the playoffs. But we're getting healthy at the right time, right? Mm-hmm. We got a young team. We got a team that's excited to be here. The Packers have everything in front of them. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
I know.
We're likely going to lose, right? I don't want to see any receipts saying, I really was happy and then we got blown out. We're more likely going to lose on Sunday. But we made it this far, right? We have a chance. We could be excited. There's no reason not to be excited at this point. Last year with Aaron Rodgers, right? We had a shitty season, and then we almost backed in and we lost week 17. We got the job done this year. Now let's keep the train moving.
Definitely. I mean, defense has improved. I don't think Joe Barry's job's saved unless he wins the Super Bowl for us. That's when I think it's saved. But yeah, I just like this team has very improved. And we said this all year, Mike, that this was going to be an evaluation year. And looked where we've come from so young and like we look so rusty to start the game, like to start this year, even though we beat the Bears and beat the Saints. We've improved so many times, and those were lessons through those tough losses that we had. And we've improved over time. And that's what has been very important to me of trying to watch this Packers team. Because we're evaluating to see who's going to keep their job next year, who stays on the roster, who do we want back, what is looking great for this team. Because this next year, I'm so excited to see this offense. Defensively, we still have to wait and see. But I like the defensive line a lot from what I'm seeing. But offensively, you look at all these weapons. It's like Aaron Rodgers in Sports Illustrated magazine with Jennings, Driver, Finley, Nelson, Cobb, like all those guys. It's like this right now, folks.
Yeah. No, his team has a chance to have a very quick rebuild. Not have a rebuild at all. I mean, get a few wins. This team could be on the right track. And I'll take back some of the things I said earlier. I think LaFleur's done a really good job this season. I think his play calling was suspect at times, but I think he's also had to deal with a lot this year. I mean, I think this is a big testament to his career and his coach as the Packers coach to take the youngest team in NFL history and bring him to the playoffs. Even if the Packers lose this week, this season was a success from a lot of avenues. Although we're not going to get a top draft pick, which would have been nice, but we do have a lot of draft capital. Is this what you're going to say?
Yeah, I was going to mention if you go on NFL Draft Tankathon, Packers currently in the power rankings for the draft are ranked number 4, and that is the highest a playoff team is currently, folks. If you look at it, where we have current picks from 19, 41, 52, 83, 92, 120, 166, 197, 215, 236, and 250. And the next closest team to like coming close to the Packers of a playoff is ranked at number 9. That's the San Francisco 49ers. The Packers, here's the fun thing, Mike, for you. We're almost close to the same value as the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where do you see that?
If you go on
Tankathon?
Yes,
NFL?
Tankathon. Yes, if you go on Tankathon and then you click more, it's the first column that says Draft Power Rankings.
Thank you.
I figured someone posted that today on Twitter, and I was like, I gotta look this up now.
Oh wow! So the Bears actually, because the Bears don't have that many picks. They have obviously the 1st and 9th pick, but then they don't pick again until 75.
Exactly.
Wow, I did not know that. The
That's
Cardinals have a ton of picks.
yeah.
The Commanders are real good there with the second pick, 36, 40. But you're right, the Packers are number 4. Not only they're fourth and 32. Now,
Exactly.
granted, don't forget that could start moving down if the Packers get some wins.
Yes, but
But
still good value here we're getting out of this.
agree. And what you could do is you could package that 41 and 52 to move back up to, let's say, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I don't know where that would get you, 41 and 52, but I would think it's got to get you early 20s.
Exactly.
Or you could package 19 and 52 and try to get up to earlier up in around pick like 13 or so. I'm not sure exactly the numbers, but I would think you'd get you somewhere in that ballpark. But let's not worry about the draft right now. We got a playoff game ahead of us. We got
Exactly.
months and months and months to worry about the draft, Jeremy. Right now,
Exactly.
we're gonna go to Dallas and get this win, make it
Exactly.
6 for 6 at AT&T.
Yes. We're hoping to get that. Now, we've already mentioned a bit before of some of our keys game, but Mike, what is going to stand out to you and try to see this Packers team win the game here on Sunday?
Yeah, no turnovers, no mistakes. Forget about turnovers, mistakes in general. So turnovers, no turnovers, limit mistakes. You have a chance to get points on the board. You're putting points on the board / more points, which means you're finishing off drives, getting a touchdown, not settling for field goals. I think you got to protect Jordan Love. I really think the offense line is integral here. Micah Parsons needs to be shut down the best you can. Stop CeeDee Lamb as much as you can. And feed Aaron Jones. Those are mine. So no turnovers, limit mistakes. Stop CeeDee Lamb, get Aaron Jones going, and feed him the ball. Offensive line's got to protect Jordan Love, stop Micah Parsons, and I'll throw one more in just for good measure. You need to what do I say? Contain just offense in general. There's no big plays, no bend, no don't break. Big plays, 4-quarter game, and what do you call it? Don't be conservative.
Yep, I
Keep the
agree with
pedal,
you.
all
Yep.
gas, no brake.
Exactly. I agree with you most of the part there. The one thing that will be crucial, in my opinion, is giving me time possession. That I think that's going to play a factor in. Now, currently the Packers are favorites to lose by 7.5 is what the current odds for the Cowboys to win. But I think time possession plays a huge factor. And we can go into last game with the Packers Bears. We saw how long each team's drives kept going so long. That's why the Packers didn't score as many points as they could have. They kept taking their time and it kept working every time. They didn't hurry up. I mean, they did hurry up the last second before half, but they kept taking their time, and the stride of the offense kept succeeding all the time. So that's what I'd like to see out of that. That's going to be a huge thing for me because if Aaron Jones is going to be feeding the ball and if he's doing well, then the Packers can have the option to do a lot of play action. That gives them a bunch of time and just get some relaxed here and there and just throw out different screen passes or different plays. I think Jane Reed's going to get involved a lot. I think Watson's also going to involve a lot. The last time these two teams played against each other, it came down to the wire again. It went in overtime. Packers won on a field goal of Mason Crosby. Watson had a day. He had over 100 yards, had that huge touchdown catch. Aaron Jones, amazing. He's had success against the Cowboys. This is really a home game for Aaron Jones. He's from Texas. This is his home. This is literally his home game. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a huge crucial determining the time possession. Now, my question for you, though, Mike, is if you're Matt LaFleur and you win the coin toss, do you want the ball first? Do you defer, receive? What do you want to
do? Well, definitely don't want to play defense. That's for sure.
Okay.
Keep Jair off the coin toss.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say take the ball first, and the reason why is because I think it'd be good to get to a good start. But I'm going to say defer. I think it would be a backbreaker if for this team if you get doubled up on. Yeah, that absolutely could not happen. Go and have the Cowboys get 14 on you without getting the ball back. That could be a backbreaker. I think it'd be good to get the defense out there, get a stop to begin the game. But hey, if you could get the ball first too, right? Go down and score a touchdown to begin the game. That should take that crowd out of it a little bit. I don't know. I don't think it matters, but I think it does need to. You need to get to a quick start regardless. Whether you get the ball first or not, you need to get to a quick start. You can't let the crowd get going and things start to unravel, because I think it's going to start unraveling pretty quick. You need to get going pretty right away. Put it to the Cowboys. Show them this team is not the 7.5 underdog you think we are. We're here to win. We're healthy. We're young.
Mhm.
We're hungry.
Mhm.
And we're talented.
Yep, definitely. I mean, this game kind of reminds me of like the Vikings a little bit. I mean, despite the whole quarterback situation of the Vikings, like the atmosphere, you felt like, especially when the Vikings, like the third down play, the Viking fans would get so loud and everything. That's kind of the same environment you're going to be into for the Cowboys. That's like, you got to play through that. And the Packers have experience through that. So I don't think the crowd noise is going to affect them too much if they play at one of the most loud stadiums this year at Minnesota. I think that's not going to affect them. It's just going to be with Jordan Love. Can he keep it calm? Can he be chill? Can he be that cool Joe Montana guy? Can he be that Joe Cool? That's what I got to see is like he just be calm in this moment and just get like, just relax himself. Just relax. Like to me, he reminds me of Jalen Hurts a little bit though, because you look at Jalen Hurts' first year was solid. He had like obviously in that first playoff game against the Buccaneers, did not have great accuracy. That's the same with Jordan Love, but Jordan Love's improved his accuracy over time. So I think it's just Jordan Love limiting mistakes and just playing cool. Just take your time and just chill. Like you can take your time in here. Defensively, now we got to be careful of CeeDee Lamb because he's going to torch us this game problem. The game is going to be torching us. Like last game, he had over 100 yards receiving the last time he played us. So that's a big thing there, folks. But I think that if you can contain CeeDee Lamb as much as you can, like we did with Justin Jefferson for the majority of the part in the Vikings game, that's going to be a big difference there. And then if we keep going of the defense, just keep adding pressure, because when Dak faces pressure, he has not looked great. So I think that's a big thing. As long as we keep getting pressure, have different blitz coverages coming on there, making tackles is going to be a huge thing too. You have to make those tackles, especially like we mentioned last game where Mike was mentioning. If I forget if it was Winter Brooks does not make the tackle, the guy could have had 10 extra yards. Got to make those tackles. Cannot let him have long plays. Keep it going. Got to stop him. You got to force him. Cannot let him beat down you and score every drive. That is not happening. That cannot happen for this Packers defense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything you said. It's going to be big. Everything, offense, defense, specialty. This is going to be an all team effort to
Exactly
get this win, and it's something that I'm just excited. I'm excited we're in this situation, Jeremy. Like I kind of wrote this team off at a certain point in the season mentally. I wasn't super excited. I just kind of ready to watch the game, but didn't think we were going to make it in the long run. And we're here. We're the 7th seed. Everything's in front of us. Everything's in front of us. We just need to win. We need to shock the world. And I think the Packers have a chance. Definitely to win this week. I think it's going to be tough against the 49ers. I really think the 49ers are a good team. McCaffrey, all these guys that they picked up at the trade deadline. Chase Young, they got Nick Bosa. They're healthy too for the most part. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat the 49ers. But if you could beat the Cowboys, I think there's a chance you beat the 49ers. And if you come off 2 back-to-back wins there, book our Super Bowl ticket, Jeremy.
Exactly.
I think that's it. I think we need to get past these 2 games, right? I don't see how you could, if you beat these 2 teams, how could you lose? How could you lose and not make the Super Bowl?
It's the Packers. We literally go from when the Packers, if you look at it back then, where Packers just needed, if they went 5-0, they would make the Super Bowl. First 2 games, what happened, Mike? We lost to the Giants when you were at. Lost to the Buccaneers, we were at. Then we go on to beat the Panthers, go on to beat the Vikings and the Bears.
Yep.
So that's what happens when we have expectations, Mike. Usually does not go well for us. When we don't have expectations, it has worked fantastic this year for us.
That's right. You have a lot of messages over here. You want to hit them before we get out of here?
Yes, sir. Let's head off with the first comment.
This is your brother, right?
Yes.
All right. Love had a lot of passing yards this season since the running game was inconsistent with Aaron Jones getting hurt and having to rely on the passing game to win. It's true. It's absolutely true. But here's the thing, right? We got to this point. Now Aaron Jones is good. So now we're going to be more balanced. And that's what I'm saying. Feed Aaron Jones. Make this team balanced like it should be. Because if you make them have to play the run and really watch out for Aaron Jones on a repeat basis, that's going to open up people down the field. I'm talking about Dobbs. I'm talking about Jaden Reed, who's got the speed. I'm talking about Christian Watson, who's coming back. Hopefully he's 100%. I'm not sure. I'm talking about Mo Belton, who's been playing really well. Sorry, Bo Melton, not Mo Melton. Bo Melton. We're talking about Datavian Wicks. Big game for Datavian Wicks. You got what, 2 touchdowns?
Yep.
Right? Big game for Dante. I mean, the big thing about this Packers 2023 team, 2023-2024, these rookie receivers, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I see what's coming up. Tucker Kraft. I see that in the chat. It's going to come up, and we'll get to it. But Tucker Kraft, in Musgrave's absence, played amazing too. Goody hit it off out of the ballpark this season, whether it be Bo Melton, right? I think last season they picked him up, right? But then in the draft, these pass catchers, these weapons for Jordan Love, without this draft, right? I don't know where this team would have been. I do not know where this team. You got Musgrave, you got Tucker Kraft, you got Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath. You got again Bo Melton from last year, but then last year's draft, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, right? And that's it. That's everyone we got. You can think about Samori Toure, but he didn't really have a big season. Who else is catching passes for the Packers? Not really anybody, right? So all our pass catchers came from 2 seasons, and the Packers have no problems with receiver. No problems here.
Yeah, and that brings me to literally the questioning of should Goody be in the conversation for executive of the year with this draft in this offseason?
If they keep it's a regular season award, right?
Yeah,
I think both LaFleur and Goody are probably in the conversation. I mean, especially LaFleur to take a team that's the youngest team in the league to make the playoffs. That never happened before. I mean, it's all coaching. It by definition, it's coaching. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are young. They're out of college. This team could have fell apart. It could have fell apart. I was ready to. I'll be honest, right? I was counting them dead, and they stuck together, and they somehow found a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think LaFleur is probably the coach of the year. Who would be?
Well,
Harbaugh?
No, not at all. The one that comes from would be Kevin Stefanski from Cleveland, who had who carried with 5 different quarterbacks to the playoffs. Other one was Houston Texan D'Amico Ryans, the defensive coordinator, who took the Texans to the playoffs for the first time in a while.
Give me Matt LaFleur again. That's big to take the youngest team in league history and make a playoff run. Now, it's not supposed to be playoffs to keep winning. Absolutely, I think it's LaFleur. If you lose this game, maybe he kind of fizzles out. Although it's not supposed to have any impact, and I'm not sure when they do the voting. If they do the voting,
they do it before. Like okay, it was. I think last week is when the votes had to be right in. Like right after, I think it was actually this past Monday or something like that. It was like that's when the votes were in. Was what I was hearing. It was sometime. It was like not. It was recently here. But yeah. Definitely, yeah. Like I think this is like Matt LaFleur's offense we're looking at here of like what he's always wanted to set in his philosophy of like if we balance the game for the run and can throw a lot of play action and do a lot of throwing the ball here and there, but like gain those yards and keep going, be explosive offense. Like here, I'll bring up this comment that was said by I forget which Packer offensive lineman said this, but back when the Packers were losing terribly, Mike. This guy said that the Packers offense could be like the Miami Dolphins offense of explosiveness. It's looked that way for a bit. It's looked that way for the Packers offense, I will say. I don't know who it was.
Anybody. We haven't done that. We haven't put 70 up on anybody.
Maybe this game, Mike. Maybe we do it here.
Hey, I take it. You sign me up for 70. If you get 70 on the Cowboys, sign me up for that. Then we'll be talking next week about a what do you call it? A divisional round.
Yeah.
All right, let's take the next one. What playoff game is exciting for y'all? Your brother's not from the South. Was you think he's a Texan?
He's a Packers fan.
No, I know. What does he think? He's a Texan?
Yeah, he thinks he's a Texan, I guess.
Well, I'm all for saying y'all, but not this week. No, y'all. My vocabulary. All right. So besides the Pack game, I would say Rams, Stafford versus Lions. Yeah, that's a big game, right? Because Stafford going home. I'm sure the NFL is kind of happy how this worked out, right? You got Stafford versus Goff, right? You got Mike McCarthy versus the Packers.
You got Tyreek Hill against the Chiefs.
Sorry, who else are the games? We got the Eagles versus Rams,
Bucks.
right?
Oh, no, Eagles, Bucks, Rams versus Lions.
What am I talking about? Rams, Lions. Eagles, Bucks, right?
Bills, Steelers.
Right, but that's kind of a
Houston and Cleveland, which is the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, like that. It worked perfectly. All the parallels kind of they're playing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. But which one is my specific game? Let me think. You go first.
Probably the Rams Lions one. The one I am intrigued though. I mean, it's really that one honestly determines it, but then like some of the Lions players get hurt in like that game. I feel like the Chiefs Dolphins one is gonna be the most interesting one because it's gonna be in one of the coldest games ever, Mike. It's
really?
It's ranked higher than the Packers NFC Championship game against the Giants of the 2007 year. It's ranked higher than that. I think it's top 5 if I'm correct. And the one thing I hate about that game is it's all on Peacock. You have to have
it's the Peacock game. Yeah.
It's the Peacock subscription game, which annoys me. So that game's going to be most intriguing to me probably. But I would say it's the Rams Lions one. I think that one's going to be interesting. But I don't think it's real. To me, it's not really the Stafford Lions trade. It's really Goff and it's not Stafford and the Lions. It's really Goff and the Rams to me because Goff went on more of a terrible note with the Rams. Like he hated Sean McVay on how they exited. They both did not get along with each other after that.
I misspoke a few times in this episode. Sorry, guys. Way off. So I said the Packers were going to be the last game. It used to be, right? The 4:30 game used to be when it was back with 6. But now also there's a Monday night game. Is this the first year with a Monday night game?
No, last year they had.
I'm completely wrong. We're the third to last game.
It's super wild card weekend is what.
Right. I forgot about that. Right. So it's going to be interesting. So you start off with the Browns Texans on Saturday at 4:30. Right. So I think that's a good game to start off. You're right. The Peacock game, Dolphins Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my choice. I think that's going to be a really good game. Taylor Swift, first playoff game. Taylor Swift. She's going to be there. Don't worry. Right. Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill. I'm excited about that game. I think the Dolphins are going to win.
I think it's the Chiefs there. I think the
Dolphins are going to win.
Well, I think the Chiefs win it because Dolphins don't have their pass rusher Bradley Chubb, who tore his ACL. Defensively has not looked good for the Dolphins. Second, the Dolphins are dealing with so many injuries on that offense with Waddle, Tyreek Hill a little bit, Raheem Mostert, all of them are supposed to play. Chiefs are getting healthy and getting better at it. And not only is it Taylor Swift's first playoff game, but the battle between the celebrities is going to be between Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez, ladies and gentlemen. Selena Gomez likes the Miami Dolphins, lives in Miami.
Going to the game?
Yes.
You know that for sure?
That was reported on Twitter. I have no idea where that's what I kept hearing rumors of. I kept hearing the rumors of that. That was the latest rumors I heard.
I don't know if that's true. But sign me up for Selena Gomez all day, every day. I looked that up. I didn't see anything about that, but maybe that would be cool. But sign me up for Selena Gomez. So yes, that's my pick. Dolphins, Chiefs. 1:00 Sunday. We got the Steelers, Bills. I think it'll be a good game, but not say I'm super excited about. Packers, Cowboys. Obviously 4:30. We'll be watching that game. Rams, Lions to end the day. So that'll be an interesting game. Important game for the Packers too. So I'll be watching that one. Yeah, so that's actually it. We're the first NFC game. It's weird. All the AFC games are first, and then the NFC games.
Last year was
So
mixed.
yeah, interesting. So NFC, and then Buccaneers, Eagles on Monday. So yeah, my answer is Dolphins, Chiefs. All right, let's
Okay.
keep going. I'm in a unique style fantasy league that is for the playoffs. My draft is tomorrow. When should I take Tucker Kraft? So it
I'm not.
depends on what type of fantasy league. Is it that thing
So,
where like the points go up as you play different as you make it to the next week? Because if that's the case, it depends on how far you think the Packers go. I mean, I know we've been singing their praises this episode, but I don't think they probably make it that far. So probably I wouldn't take him. I think Luke Musgrave probably should get the if he's healthy. I want Luke Musgrave over there outside Tucker Kraft.
well,
But
I have no comment because this is my commissioner of my draft tomorrow, so I have no comment for this.
oh, so you're in it too.
Yes, this
Okay.
is so pretty much it's a 7-person league where it goes by like if you pick players off every playoff team. If the team wins, you still advance, and you try to get the highest score by the end of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but do you
And
get
I
more
won.
points if they score and if they make it to the next one? So let's say you get like 1 point for the first week, then you get 2 points in the next week, then 3
No,
points in the. It's not
it's
like
not
that.
like it's the same exact. So if like I get a touchdown, it's 6 points. If I get a touchdown the next week, it's 6 points still.
But you have one roster. You can't change that roster week over week.
Nope. You can't change the roster whatsoever. As soon as you draft that team, that's your team for the whole time.
And each person only get one. Each team only get one player.
No, we get 2 quarterbacks, 2
No, sorry.
receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense. Flex.
What I mean is the same player can't be in multiple teams.
Yeah, same player can be on multiple teams.
So how many teams are in this league? Seven teams.
7 teams. You can do.
There's not 14 quarterbacks though.
That's how many before. Yeah, this is you go from the 1 through the 7 seed, Mike. Then the other side, 1 through 7. So it's 14 playoff QBs.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you're right.
So yeah.
Because right. It's 12 teams. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
So it's 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs,
2 receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex spots. What the flex? No, excuse me. The one I think it's 1 flex spot. With the flex spot, you can do maybe it's 1 or 2. I forget. But with the flex spot, you can have a quarterback extra if you wanted to. So I could take 3 quarterbacks and still have them if I wanted to.
Really? So what happens if you take all the quarterbacks?
You can't take all the quarterbacks, Mike. Yeah, you can. The max you could probably take is either 3 or 4 for team wise.
And
but
what platform is this on?
It's not even on ESPN. It's our own. We literally we go to like someone's house and we just do the draft.
Oh, you write it on a piece of paper?
Yeah, we do like literally like old school.
And how do you do the scoring?
We have our commissioner and he tallies the scores up, and then we double check our own for the week. And we do like if let's say you pick Tua for this week and the Dolphins lose, he's eliminated, and you calculate how many total points he had. That's how many he has for your entire team, and that's all he can.
This is something you guys created completely on your own. Maybe it's a business idea. You should create an app to do this, right? And get people to sign up and sell it to ESPN.
Well, I should, but there's like a lot of news people that do it. There's like this is not like new. It's like this has been going on.
But just nobody has made it into a formal thing where does the
no one's made it into like a formal thing of ESPN or something like that. But it's been on everyone has that of like doing it though.
I'm surprised. I really highly doubt a lot of people doing it by hand. That's just too much work. But I mean, hey, good for you guys to do it. All right, let's keep going. Tucker Kraft should be second to last or third to last, since the Packers don't like to last long, and people will avoid players and teams that will not last long. Yeah, I agree. I would think that Mark Andrews has got to go up there. Obviously, Travis Kelce's going to go up there, right? Is Andrews hurt, by the way? Didn't he get hurt at some point?
Yeah.
Is he back?
He tore his ACL.
Oh, so never mind. He's not going anywhere.
Wow,
they've had.
So there's a shot that he could, but it's unlikely.
What, that he could come back?
Yeah,
after tearing his ACL?
They said something about that, but I highly doubt that. I read that in the report from Harbaugh when the first news come up. I was like, "There's no way he would. There's no way he can come back."
Outside chance, Mark Andrews returns.
Yeah, there's like no shot.
Yeah.
There's no shot the guy comes back.
It's an ankle injury, so it's not ACL. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe.
well, still. He tore it very bad.
Okay. Yeah, is Laporta done?
No, he has a chance to play this week. There's an outside chance he plays this week, is what Kneecaps was saying. Kneecaps was saying that. Mr. Kneecaps.
Yeah, he's optimistic.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, I do think he's got to go pretty early. Laporta, Kelsey, and who else? Who else is a big tight end over here? Oh, Njoku, I think.
I'm not saying any because I know my guys for tomorrow. I know.
Yeah, I bet you Njoku. You looked at me when he said that.
That's not one. That's not one. That's
No,
not the
it's
guy.
not. Well, even if it was, you wouldn't say it. So
exactly, I won't say it. I know who I'm going after.
Let's change the topic before we give away all your picks.
Okay.
All right. What's up next?
He believes that Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave are the next Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. Specifically, he thinks Tucker Kraft is next Gronk.
I think we're ahead of ourselves. All right, next. Tucker Kraft is a great player, but will not get as many points as some other tight ends on teams, but still a solid pick, especially if the Packers pull the upset on the Cowboys. Okay. All right. So good luck in your draft tomorrow. We got to let the viewers know how it goes. Post the results on the page if you want.
I will post the results tomorrow.
I'm mad I didn't get the invite for this,
You have to be in person, Mike.
I could zoom in. Or that's true.
I mean, you could, but we would have to write it all up, and you can't do more than 7 people. Yeah, the max is 7 people. You can do 6 people. You can do 6, but the max is 7 because if you had too many, then there's no way we could do
quarterbacks. You'd have to exactly. The quarterbacks are trash. Yeah. All right. And then obviously, look out for the page. This is gonna be a big week for the page, I think. How are we doing on followers, Jeremy? How are we doing on the YouTube? By the way, shout out to the YouTube.
YouTube, I am currently 30 subs away from 300. So we've gotten at least 2 subs in the past week. So I'm happy about that. But make sure you subscribe, people. I need more subs to get the 300 goals. We have been gaining in Twitter too. I did see that. We got a couple of Twitter followers I saw. We're not close to 1,000 just yet.
No, I know. We had another week to do it, right?
Yeah.
But we've been slowing down on the followers. Right now we're at 789, so we're 211 away. But as we keep winning, it just gives me more time. I said by the end of the season. I didn't say by the end of the regular season. I said by the end of the season. So we'll see. Maybe we get a win. I don't think we're going to get it by the end of this Cowboys game. So we're going to need to keep winning for the goal to stay alive. But hey, I'll take that. 789. We were at earlier in the season, around like week 5 or so, like 50 followers. So I'll take the 789. I'll take that, and it's just going to keep going, hopefully. So yeah, thank you if you're a new follower of the channel. This is your first episode tuning in, whatnot. We're still a little bit we got to figure out how to do it Twitter and YouTube all one. We have a little bit of a mixture where the comments come up on YouTube and not Twitter. But hey, we're gonna keep working on it, and we got a guest next week, Jeremy. Is that definitely happening? We got to reach out to him.
We have to recheck on that. We have to double check.
Yeah, we got to see if John wants to make it back on. But hopefully next week we'll be celebrating a big win in Dallas, and moving on to the number 1 seed, and being the 49ers. But hey, let's take it week by week, right? We can't look past the Cowboys at all. This is gonna be a tough game. Definitely gonna be a tough game. So yeah, so I'm excited. What about you? What's your final thoughts?
I'm very excited to see this game, and my advice to this Packers team: take advantage of this opportunity. As great quarterbacks, you might only get one chance to go on that field. Just shine on that star, shine on that Dallas star. And take that dub. Take that dub away from Cowboy fans. That's what I want to see on that field. Show, give me your all out there. Win it all. Just make it very competitive. Like to see this team take Dallas. I like to see them. I don't think it'll happen, But I think this Packers team can put up a great fight, and that's what I'm looking for out here. Just get that dub for me is what I'm really looking for. Give it your all. Take advantage of this opportunity. Not supposed to be here, but take advantage of that.
What's your plans for the game?
Watching it with my family. And maybe some friends too. I will home, yes.
All right. I gotta talk to my dad, see if he wants to make it down to the Packers bar. That'd be nice. Hey, I'm not gonna make it to the NFC Championship game if we make it. I'm gonna be skiing that weekend. So what do you call it?
Cancel the plans, Mike.
I looked at the Cowboys tickets, how much they would be. Too much. It doesn't make much sense to go out to San Francisco, so I don't think I'm going to make it to a playoff game this year, because even if it's in like Philly or something closer, Detroit, for the championship game, I won't be able to go. So the only game that I could possibly go to, what am I thinking about?
Technically, this would happen if it were to happen, but it could be Philadelphia next week.
No, what do you mean next week? We only play the 49ers.
Oh, excuse me. The championship at Philadelphia.
No, I said I couldn't. I can't go to the championship game.
Fine, the Super Bowl.
That's the only game I, in theory, could go to. But that's probably not going to happen. We're not going to make it there, and I probably wouldn't pony up the cash to go to the Super Bowl anyway. So, but yeah, that's that. So, hey, look, stay close to the channel. Keep, tell your friends and family, post or to follow on YouTube, follow on Twitter or X. Yeah, and hopefully we'll keep the coverage going this week. Hopefully we'll be celebrating a Packers win and looking forward to the divisional round against the San Francisco 49ers. And if not, we had a really good run. We had a good run. Another great season for the podcast. Obviously, we blew up our follower count on Twitter, so that was big. But keep going. We're going to have some content here for the draft, if, whenever that's going to happen regardless, right? So we're going to have content, around the playoffs, no matter if the Packers are on it. We'll be on here every week. And yeah, it's exciting stuff. Hopefully we have, more guests as the time goes on. But if not, you and me will be holding down the fort, Jeremy, the OG crew right here.
Exactly. OG crew. All right, folks. We appreciate everyone that's tuning in, that has been with us throughout the season. Please make sure you leave a like on the Twitter and the YouTube. Subscribe to both of the YouTube and the Twitter. And now we'll end with, where can we find you? And Mike, we will start with you first.
Yeah, find me on Twitter. Arvo50 is my personal account. Feel free to follow me there. I'd appreciate it. But also, obviously, on the Twitter page for the podcast, PackReacts Pod. Jeremy and I posts on it. Mostly me. I'm the one that is probably, the one whining on it a little bit. So if you, like my content, reach out. If you don't, then reach out too. Maybe keep it private, so you don't call me out to everybody. But hey, I like the feedback. So hopefully we're getting some good memes on. I basically, my Titletown memes page is basically retired, so it's only the podcast page. We're only on the podcast page, Jeremy.
All right, that's good. Good. You all know where to find me. Wait, excuse me. You don't. You guys know where to find me. We don't say y'all in this vocabulary, as Mike said.
That's right. Or you all. You all is fine. Just can't say y'all.
Okay. You all can find me on the YouTube, as you know where. We're 30 subs away. Upcoming videos I already posted on my second channel of my top 5 Phillies greatest players of all time. Can the Philadelphia Sixers get over the hump? Upcoming video, though, I already posted my pack reaction, which has been over, I believe, 900, close to
reaction. Sorry,
PackReacts reaction video, which had over 830 views last I checked this morning.
Wow.
Secondly, we'll have my fantasy football. What's it like to have a fantasy football team reaction, which is not pretty. It's not pretty having a fantasy football. Yes, Mike.
Why don't you share the videos on the PackReacts page?
That part I forgot to do. So that part I did share the PackReacts reaction video, though. I did share that on the Twitter, though. I did do that. But I forgot to post it on the main. I forgot to post I will post the fantasy one on the Twitter, though. I will post.
I didn't know you had it. You had the PackReacts, so it's branded for the podcast.
So yeah, that was for the podcast and the YouTube.
That's what we should do. We should do. We're just live on the we're just spitballing live on air, like shorts. Shorts reacts like after the game.
Yeah.
We will be
Yes.
doing that live from Plenty of Fish or Kettle of Fish if I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be there though. I'm going. We're gonna be there. I'm making the decision right here on air. So
there we go. So yeah, that's where you all can find me. Excuse me, you all can find me. I'm stuck on saying that after seeing that comment. But yeah, you guys can find me on the YouTube. I did have one special video for you guys to play with, and that's where we'll end it here. We always say our Go Pack Go, but I figure with this Sunday, this playoff game, I figure we change it up a little bit here just to end us now. Apologies to the Twitter.
I have it.
You do have it. Good.
This is
Good.
what you sent me, right?
Yes. All right.
Twitter is ready to go.
All right. We will share this video now.
There you go. Was that girl the one that's looking back at a certain point? The girl from the that meme,
No,
when, the guy's looking back at the girl and the girl.
No,
it
wasn't. It
looks
was
like
not.
her.
It was Anne Hathaway. That was the actress. But yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. So end it there, folks. If we have any song play, we will play it. Here we go.
Go. Go.